Hello, welcome. My name is Lea Diane, and this is Power Yoga. We are going to begin standing with our feet hips width apart. Think of lengthening through your spine. So you're standing up really straight and tall. You're tucking your tailbone under. We're really lengthened here. We're going to begin by pressing our palms to heart center and closing our eyes. We'll just take a moment here to find our balance, feeling the weight of our body over our toes and our heel, kind of putting weight into all four corners of our feet. We're going to breathe in through our nose and exhale through our mouths. Bringing awareness into our bodies and connecting with our breath. Here you can take a moment to set an intention for your practice. Think of being exactly here in this moment, in this space, allowing your body to move freely, pushing your limits, but also honoring where you're at here and now. And on your next inhale, you can open your eyes and reach your arms all the way up toward the ceiling. On the exhale, we'll swan dive so our chest first, all the way down, reaching toward our toes. Inhale, lengthening through your spine so you're flattening through your back. And on the exhale, folding forward, we'll bend our knees, place our hands on the mat, and then step our feet a little bit wider so they come to the edges of the mat. Then grab your elbows, gradually straightening through your legs, and then rock gently side to side. Starting to warm up through your spine, open up through your lower back and your hamstrings. Maybe wiggle your toes, find some space here, kind of make this your own. Good. We'll come back through neutral, release our hands, and slowly roll all the way up to standing. Take a big inhale, reach our arms overhead. On the exhale, again, we're going to swan dive, so all the way back down into our forward fold. We're going to bring our hands to the mat, bend your knees if you need to, heel toe your feet back to the center, hips width apart. We're going to inhale to lengthen through our spine. And then on the exhale, we'll place our hands on the mat and step or hop back into a plank. So maybe if you're just warming up, maybe just step back into your plank. You're going to hug your elbows into your sides for chaturanga, bottom of a push-up. On the inhale, you're going to draw your chest forward, looking up toward the ceiling. And on the exhale, lift your hips and press back into downward dog. We'll take a few breaths here just to get warmed up. Maybe bend one knee, bend the other. Maybe twist through your spine a few times, opening up through your shoulders. Then look to the front of your mat, bend your knees, and step or hop to bring your feet between your hands. You're going to inhale to lengthen through your spine. On the exhale, you'll fold forward, bringing your chest toward your thighs. Then slowly roll all the way back up to standing, slowly stacking the vertebrae of your spine. And on the inhale, reach your arms all the way up toward the ceiling. And on the exhale, pressing your palms to heart center. Then lowering your hands to your sides, take another inhale. Reach your arms all the way up, and on the exhale, folding forward, reaching for your toes. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthening through your spine. You'll place your hands on the mat, bend your knees if you need to, and step or hop to come right back into your plank. Then hug your elbows into your sides, lowering through chaturanga, bottom of a push-up. Inhale, lifting your chest for upward dog, and on the exhale, lifting your hips, pressing back to downward dog. So really make this downward dog your own. Maybe bend one knee, bend the other. Maybe try lifting your toes if you can sink your heels down. Maybe sink your chest a little bit closer. Good. On the inhale, you're going to lift the right leg all the way up toward the ceiling for three-legged dog. On the exhale, you're going to bend your right knee and bring it over toward your left elbow. Inhale, bring it all the way back up toward the ceiling. On the exhale, bring the right knee to the right elbow. Inhale, all the way back up through the center. One more time, bring your knee toward your nose, then step forward between your hands. We'll flatten through our back heel, and on the inhale, reach our arms all the way up toward the ceiling. On the exhale, coming right into warrior two. So we're bringing our arms out to the sides. Maybe bend a little bit deeper through your front knee. Try to keep your knee in line with your ankle. Back heel's nice and flat. Arms are reaching out to the sides. Good. Then flip your right palm, reach forward, up and back for reverse warrior. So you're lengthening through the right side. Then cartwheel that right arm forward, come all the way down to the mat, and gradually straighten through the front leg for triangle. If you can't keep your hand on the mat with that front leg straight, bring it up to your shin and find your balance here. Good. Then bring your hands back to the mat. We'll step back into our plank, hug our elbows into our sides for chaturanga, bottom of a push-up. Inhale, lifting your chest for upward dog, and on the exhale, lifting your hips, pressing back to downward dog. So again, lengthening through your spine, maybe wiggle your toes, bend your knees, find some space. Good. On the inhale, lift the left leg all the way up toward the ceiling. On the exhale, bring your knee in toward the right elbow, so twisting underneath you. Inhale all the way back up through three-legged dog. On the exhale, bring the left knee to the left elbow. Inhale back up through the center. One more time, stepping between your hands. We'll flatten through our back heel. And on the inhale, we'll reach our arms all the way up for warrior one. On the exhale, warrior two, bringing your arms out to the sides. Nice deep bend through that front knee. And flipping your left palm, reach forward, up and back for reverse warrior. Really lengthening through that left side. Good. Cartwheel that left hand down to the mat. Gradually straighten through the front leg. And if you can't get that leg all the way straight, bring your hand to your shin for triangle, looking up toward the top hand. Good. Cartwheel your hands back to the mat, stepping back into your plank. We'll hug our elbows into our sides for chaturanga, bottom of a push-up. Inhale, lifting your chest for upward dog. And on the exhale, lift your hips, press back into downward dog. So just starting to get the blood flowing now. Really moving through, opening up through our chest, through our lungs, creating some deeper breaths here. We'll take our right hand and reach toward the left ankle and twist, looking under the left arm. You can bend through the right knee, maybe find a little more space here. So we're just twisting and looking under that left arm. Okay, try the same thing on the opposite side. So right hand comes back to the mat, left hand reaching to the outside edge of the right ankle, and twist to look under the right arm. Again, you can bend your left knee. Maybe twist a little deeper. Hands come back to the mat. Inhale, reach the right leg all the way up toward the ceiling. On the exhale, step forward between your hands. We're going to lower through our back knee so we bring it down to the mat. And we're going to begin to bend and straighten through the front leg. Now that we're kind of a little bit more warm, maybe we can find some good intro deep stretches here. So we'll bend through the right knee, walking our hands up to the knee, or reaching our arms up toward the ceiling on the inhale. Good. Drop your left hand to the mat, reaching over with the right, so we lengthen through the right side. Inhale back up through center. Exhale, drop the right arm to the mat, reaching over with the left. Inhale back up through center. On the exhale, hands come down to the mat, straighten through the front leg for half splits. Find another inhale to lengthen your spine, and on the exhale, fold forward over the right leg. Good. You can stay right here. If you'd like, you can also try sliding that right foot forward. See if you have any more space here to really open up or slide into a split. So depending on how much flexibility you have and how warm you're feeling, you can maybe slide down into your split if you have it. Take another inhale, lengthen our spine. On the exhale, let's fold forward over the right leg. Good. And then release. Inhale, lift your chest. Slide that right leg back in. Good. Bend through your knee. Heel toe your foot to the edge of the mat. This time we're going to lift our back knee and then come down onto our forearms. If you can't quite come down onto your forearms, you can just stay here, or maybe just try the left forearm. We'll press against the inside edge of the right knee, twist and look up over the right shoulder. Good. And then release. Try walking your hands out to the left side on a diagonal. Fold a little bit deeper if you have any more space. Okay. Then come back in through the center. Lower your back knee. Reach back with the right hand. Catch your foot and then twist to look over the right shoulder. Good. Bring your hands down to the mat. Step back into a plank. Hug your elbows into your sides. Chaturanga, Baddha Pusha. Inhale, lift your chest, upward dog. And on the exhale, press all the way back to downward dog. Good. On the inhale, let's switch sides. So lift the left leg all the way up toward the ceiling. On the exhale, step forward between your hands. Lower that back knee onto the mat, untuck the back toe, and begin to bend and straighten through that front leg. I'm just kind of starting to warm everything up on the left here. We're going to finish by bending that left knee. On the inhale, you can walk your hands up to that knee, or you can inhale, reach your arms up toward the ceiling. Really open up through your chest and shoulders. This time we'll interlace our fingers, flip our palms, and lift our chest a little bit higher. Good. On the exhale, drop the left arm, reach over with the right so we lengthen through the right side. Inhale back up through center. Exhale, drop the right arm, reaching over with the left. One more time, inhale up to the center. Exhale, bring your hands to the mat. Straighten through the left leg for half split. And just begin to bend, point and flex through that left foot. Good. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold over the left leg. If that's feeling okay, you can try sliding that left foot forward and just see where you end up today. So if you're not quite warm enough to slide all the way into your splits, you don't need to. But if you're ready for this, you can slide all the way forward. Inhale, lift your chest, lengthen through your spine, find a little bit of space. And wherever you're at, on the exhale, begin to fold forward over the left leg. Good. Inhale, lift your chest, slide that left leg back in. Bend through your knee, heel toe your foot to the edge of the mat. Bring your hands onto the inside edge of that left leg. We're going to lift our back knee and then begin to fold forward, coming into lizard, maybe coming down onto our forearms. If you've got the space, you're more than welcome to stay high, or you can come down here onto those forearms and then sink to the outside edge of your left foot. Use your left hand to press against the inside edge of your left knee so that you twist and look up over your left shoulder. Then release your hands back to the mat. We're going to walk out on a diagonal over to the right side. Then lower your right knee to the mat, walk your hands back in, bend the right knee, reach back and see if you can catch that foot or ankle, twisting and looking over the left shoulder. Then release. Hands come back to the mat. We're going to step back into a plank. This time we're going to lower down onto our forearms. We're going to drop our heels side to side, but keep our hips lifted so we begin to activate our obliques. Good. We'll come back up through the center. Come back up onto our hands, hug our elbows into our sides for our chaturanga, bottom push-up. Inhale, lifting our chest for upward dog, and on the exhale, lifting, pressing back into downward dog. So find a nice solid downward dog here, and then see if you can reach your arm up toward the ceiling. Maybe bring it behind your back, and really press to that left shoulder for a one-armed downward dog. Good. Releasing the right hand, let's switch sides. So lift that left arm up toward the ceiling. Then bend your elbow, bringing that arm behind your back. Same thing on the left. Good. Right back through your downward dog. This time we'll inhale, reach the right leg all the way up toward the ceiling. On the exhale, bring the right knee over to the left elbow. We're going to then lower it to the mat, just tapping the mat, pulling it back up toward your elbow, and then on the inhale, bringing it all the way up toward the ceiling. On the exhale, bring the right knee to your right elbow. Slide it down toward the mat, bring it back up to your elbow. Inhale, reach all the way up toward the ceiling. On the exhale, bring your knee toward your nose, rounding through your spine. Lower through to the mat, pull it back up toward your nose, then inhale all the way up toward the ceiling. Good. On the exhale, we're going to sweep that right leg forward, stepping between our hands, keeping our back heel lifted, and on the inhale, reaching our arms up toward the ceiling for crescent lunge. Good. Lower the left hand to the mat, twisting, reaching up toward the ceiling with that right arm. Good. Then sinking to the outside edge of your left foot, we'll step back with the right leg so we come into a side plank. Maybe try lifting that top leg for side star. You can bend through the knee for side tree, or you can even extend that leg for the full variation. Good. Wherever you're at, step that right top leg back behind you for wild thing, pressing your hips up toward the ceiling. Good. Flip all the way back over into your three-legged dog on the right. And on the exhale, sweeping that right leg out to the left side. We'll reach up with the left arm for shooting star. Good. Lower your left hand to the mat and see if you can add in a few push-ups here. So this can be 1 push-up, this can be 5 push-ups, whatever works best for you. Good. And step right back into your downward dog. Good. On the inhale, we're going to switch sides. So we're going to lift our left leg all the way up toward the ceiling. Oops, sorry, I'm losing this here. Left leg all the way up. On the exhale, pull the left knee over to the right elbow underneath you. Then lower it to the mat, just tapping the mat. Pull it back up toward your elbow. Then inhale all the way back up toward the ceiling for three-legged dog. Good. Then bring the left elbow over to your left knee to your left elbow. Lower to the mat. Pull back up to your elbow. Inhale, reach all the way up toward the ceiling. One more time, we'll come through the center, bringing our knee toward our nose. Lower to the mat. Back up toward your nose. Inhale all the way up toward the ceiling. And on the exhale, step forward between your hands, keeping your back heel lifted. We'll reach your arms up toward the ceiling on the inhale for crescent lunge. Good. Lower the right hand to the mat, twisting, looking up toward the ceiling over the left arm. And then shift your weight so that you come to the right side of that right foot. Step right back into your side plank. A couple options from here. You can lift that top leg for side star. You can bend through the knee for side tree. You can catch that foot, extend through that leg. And then wherever you're at, step back behind you into your wild thing. Press your hips high, really lengthen through the left side. Good. Bring that left hand to the mat, extend the left leg all the way up toward the ceiling for three-legged dog. Bring that left knee underneath you and out to the right side for shooting star. Good. Then lower your right hand to the mat and see if you can add in a few push-ups here. So just bending through your elbows. And then come right back into your downward dog. Good. On the inhale, lift the right leg all the way up toward the ceiling, three-legged dog. On the exhale, step forward between your hands, flatten through your back heel, warrior one. On the inhale, reaching your arms all the way up toward the ceiling. On the exhale, warrior two, bringing your arms out to the sides. Bend nice and deep to that front knee. See if you can make sure that your knee aligns with your ankle. Good. Then flip your right palm, reach forward, up and back, straightening through the front leg for reverse triangle. So you're lengthening all the way through the right side. Then cartwheel that right arm forward, reach as far as you can, and then come down to your shin or to the mat for triangle. Good. Then lower your left hand to the mat and reach up high with the right for revolved triangle. Good. Bring your right hand back to the mat, step back into your plank. Hug your elbows into your sides for chaturanga, bottom of a push-up. Inhale, lift your chest for upward dog, and on the exhale, press all the way back into downward dog. Just taking a few breaths here, finding some lengthened space through our spine. On the inhale, lift the left leg all the way up toward the ceiling, three-legged dog. On the exhale, step forward between your hands, flatten through your back heel. Warrior one on the inhale, really reach your arms up toward the ceiling. And on the exhale, warrior two, bringing your arms out to the sides, bending nice and deep through that front knee. Find a little bit more space here. Then flip your left palm, reach forward, up and back, straightening the front leg for reverse triangle. Good. Cartwheel that left arm forward, really reach as far as you can, then come down to your shin or the mat for triangle. Looking up over that right arm, top arm. And drop your right hand to the mat, reaching high with the left, adding in a twist for revolved triangle. Good. Lower the left hand to the mat, stepping back into your plank. Hug your elbows into your sides for chaturanga, bottom of a push-up. Inhale, lifting your chest for upward dog, and on the exhale, lift your hips, pressing back into downward dog. On the inhale, you're going to lift the right leg all the way up toward the ceiling. On the exhale, you're going to bend the right knee really nice and tight, bringing it toward the left elbow. Then you're going to bend your elbows so you set up for arm balance here. And maybe lift that back leg off of the mat, maybe straighten through the front leg. Good. And come all the way back into your three-legged dog on the right. On the exhale, try that arm balance on the opposite arm. So we're bending through the right knee. We're bending both elbows. We're creating a foundation here. Left elbow is in your left side. Inside of your right thigh is on your right elbow. And then maybe lift that back leg and straighten the front. Good. Come all the way back up through three-legged dog. Good. One more time, sweep the right leg through the center. You're going to step between your hands. Then inhale, lift that back leg, taking your hands off the ground for warrior three. Let's drop the right hand to the mat, stacking our hips, reaching up toward the ceiling with the left arm for a half moon. Maybe even bend the left knee, reach back with your left hand. See if you can catch your foot or ankle. And if you're feeling extra adventurous, maybe take that bottom hand off of the mat and pull it in toward your chest. Wherever you're at, straighten that back leg, fold forward into standing splits. If you're working on handstands here, you can place your hands on the mat, take that top leg and maybe lift so you begin to float up into a handstand. So you can play with this a few times. Little lifts and press up toward the ceiling. Good. We'll bring our feet back together so our feet are hips width apart, placing them on the mat. We'll inhale, lengthen our spine, and on the exhale, fold forward. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Place your hands on the mat and step or hop back into your plank. Hug your elbows into your sides for chaturanga, bottom of a push-up. Inhale, lift your chest for upward dog. And on the exhale, lift your hips, pressing back to downward dog. Taking a few breaths here, lengthening through your spine. Good. On the inhale, switching sides, you'll lift the left leg all the way up toward the ceiling. On the exhale, bend the left knee, bring it over toward the right side, and maybe bend your elbows to set up for an arm balance. You can try lifting that right back leg off of the mat, maybe straightening the front leg. Good. Inhale, lift the left leg all the way up. Three-legged dog. On the exhale, try the same thing on the left side. So bend the left knee, hugging your elbows, creating a foundation here to balance your body, lifting that back leg and maybe straightening the front. Good. Inhale, left leg all the way up. On the exhale, step forward between your hands. Warrior three, lifting your chest, pressing your palms to heart center. Good. This time, lowering your left hand to the mat, reaching up with the right arm, twisting and looking up toward the ceiling for half moon. Maybe bend through the right knee, see if you can catch your foot or ankle. Kicking that foot into your hand, lifting your chest a little bit higher, and maybe even try full moon, taking that left hand off of the ground and finding your balance. Maybe. Good. Wherever you're at, folding forward into standing splits, straightening through that back leg. Good. And then maybe place your hands on the mat and try those handstand kicks on the opposite side, really lifting through your hips, floating that back leg up, all the way up into your handstand. You can play with a few tries with this. So maybe give yourself a few opportunities to find your balance. Good. And bring your feet back to the mat. Hips width apart. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold forward. Then slide your hands under your feet so your toes come up toward your wrists. Pressing the ball of your foot onto the palm of your hand and folding forward. Good. Bend through your knees so you bring your hips to the mat. Straighten through your legs. Come right into your boat pose. Maybe bring your hands down to your ankles, lifting through your chest. Keeping your core nice and tight. Maybe even take your hands off of your shins and reach up toward the ceiling. Maybe come down into a low boat, really pulling in your lower abs. Good. And then tuck your right knee into your chest and cross it over to the left side so you twist all the way through your core, looking over the right shoulder. Then pull the right knee over to the right side, maybe even straightening through the right leg, really opening up through your hips. Good. Come back through the center, squaring off your hips, really pull that shin toward your nose. Good. Then bend to the right knee. Place the right shin on top of your left thigh and hug that left knee in nice and tight toward your chest. Maybe even rocking gently side to side to find some more space to open up through your hip. Good. You can then use your right elbow on the inside of your right knee to press that knee away from you to stretch deeper through the IT band on the right. You can also straighten through your left leg and see if you can catch your ankle and maybe pull that ankle in a little bit closer, really folding forward. Good. And then go ahead and release. Tuck your knees back into your chest. This time we'll straighten the right leg. Pull the left knee over to the right side, keeping the left shoulder on the mat, reaching out with the left arm to twist. Pull the left knee back over to the left side, opening up through your hip. You can even catch that left leg. Pull it all the way out to the left side, reaching out with the right arm, really opening everything up. Good. And pull the left leg back in toward the center, squaring off your hips, pulling your shin toward your nose, finding a little bit more space and flexibility here. Good. And bend the left knee. Place the left shin on top of the right thigh. Hug that right knee in nice and tight, maybe gently rocking side to side to open up through that left IT band. You can even use that left elbow on the inside of the left thigh to press that knee out to the left side so you find a little more space here as you lengthen through the outside of your hip. Good. Then straighten through the right leg. Maybe try pulling that shin in toward your nose. Really deep stretch here, really opening up to that left hip. Good. And then release. Tuck your knees back into your chest. You're going to rock yourself all the way up to bring your feet onto the mat. You're going to spread your knees wide and bring your heels together. Lifting through your chest, you're going to stack your hips over your ankles and then your shoulders over your hips. On the inhale, we'll reach our arms all the way up toward the ceiling. On the exhale, we'll press our palms together for a wide knee tiptoe balance. Good. Take another inhale, reach your arms up toward the ceiling. On the exhale, begin to fold forward. Wrap your arms around and underneath your knees and see if you can catch your heels. Then lift your chest, pull your shoulder blades back, and look forward. Good. Keep the connection you have between your upper arms and your shins. Place your hands on the mat, shoulder width apart. Then begin to lift your hips and shift your weight forward so you come into Bakasana or crow balance, lifting your toes off of the mat and looking forward. So from the side, this will look like this. Hands on the mat, shoulder width apart, lifting your hips, shifting our weight forward, finding your balance, and then lifting your toes off of the mat. Good. You can stay right here, or you can try dropping your head to the mat, keeping your hands exactly where they're at. You've created a tripod base here. Stack your hips up over your shoulders, and then begin to lift your knees, or maybe extend all the way up into headstand. Good. Bend your knees. See if you can come right back into that crow balance. Inhale, lifting your chest, and then maybe shooting your legs behind you into a plank. Just like that. And hug your elbows into your sides. Chaturanga, bottom of a push-up. Inhale, lifting your chest for upward dog. And on the exhale, lift your hips, press right back up into downward dog. And I'm just going to move forward here. On the inhale, lift the right leg up all the way up toward the ceiling. Take a step forward between your legs, then pivot so that you turn to face one side of your mat. So if my feet are nice and wide here, I'm going to sink my heels out just a tiny bit further. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, and on the exhale, begin to fold forward. Then walk your arms out in front of you. Find some more length through your spine. Take another inhale, and on the exhale, fold a little bit deeper. Good. Try walking your hands over to the right side. And then walking your hands over to the left side. Come back through the center. Place your left hand below your forehead. Inhale, reaching up with the right, twisting, looking up toward the ceiling. Dropping the right hand to the mat, inhale, reaching up with the left, twisting and looking up toward the ceiling. Good. Coming back to the mat, we're going to walk our hands over to the right side, bend through the right knee, and then shift our weight so that we come to flying monkey. So our right knee is bent. Our left toes are angled up toward the ceiling. And we're going to try to sit a little bit back into our heel here, and maybe press our palms together for flying monkey. So if you can't quite sit your heel on the ground and keep that balance, you can just stay floating here. You can also keep your hands on the mat. If you want to have a little bit of fun with this, try wrapping that right arm around that right leg. Bring the left arm behind your back and maybe come to a bind. Then heel toe that left foot all the way back toward your midline here. You're going to take the weight entirely out of the right leg, shifting it onto the left foot, and maybe come to standing. Yep. Coming to standing here. Good. Take the right hand, grab the inside edge of that right foot. See if you can extend it up toward the ceiling. Awesome. And then keep that left hand reaching and see if you can catch the inside edge of that right thigh. And look over the left shoulder. Good. Slowly begin to lower that right leg back down to the mat. We're going to step our feet back to that nice wide stance. This time sinking our hips over to the left side. So we're coming to flying monkey on the left. And again, you can stay right here. You can keep your hands on the mat, maybe just fold forward. Or you can sit your hips back so that your heel rests on the mat, maybe binding on the left. And again, you can play with this one a little bit. You can try walking that right foot in, keeping that bind. You'll take the weight out of that left foot entirely. That's the one that you have bound. And you're going to shift your weight onto the right foot so that you can begin to stand. Stand on the right foot. Good. Good. Then release the left hand, catch the inside edge of that left foot, extend that left leg up toward the ceiling, and maybe catch the inside of that left thigh with the right hand, twisting and looking over the right shoulder. Good. And very slowly release the left leg. Feet or hips width apart. We'll take a big inhale, reach our arms overhead. And on the exhale, again, folding forward, reaching for our toes. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthening through our spine. We're going to walk our hands back to the front of the mat, coming right back into our downward dog. Good. Look to the front of your mat, bend your knees and step to hop to bring your feet between your hands, then sit your hips back onto the mat. We're going to lower all the way down onto our back, bringing our arms along our sides. We'll bring our feet a little bit closer to our hips. And on the inhale, we'll press our hips up toward the ceiling, rolling our shoulder blades under for a low bridge. Good. See if you can lift the right leg up toward the ceiling. Bend your right knee, place the right ankle on top of the left thigh, and then press your hips a little bit higher to open up through your hip. Good. Releasing the right leg, we'll switch sides. Inhale, extend the left leg up toward the ceiling. Bend the knee, left ankle comes on top of the right thigh. Inhale, press your hips up toward the ceiling. A little bit deeper stretch on the left. Good. Releasing the left leg. Feet come down to the mat. Lower all the way down and gently tuck your knees into your chest. Maybe gently rock side to side to massage through your lower back. So just kind of gently rocking that out. Good. Lower your feet to the mat. Let's try pressing up into a full wheel. So place our hands behind the back of our shoulders. If this is not in your practice, you can press up again into that low bridge, just keeping your arms along your sides. Otherwise, on your inhale, really lift your hips and walk your hands toward your feet. Press your hips a little bit higher for wheel. Good. Lower all the way back down onto your mat. Again, tuck your knees into your chest. Gently rock side to side. Good. Grabbing the outside edges of your feet for happy baby. And gently rock side to side. Maybe even rock forward and back a few times. Good. Try a wide leg variation of happy baby by straightening through your legs. Really open up through your hips. Wrap your peace fingers around your big toes. See if you can straighten through your legs. And if this isn't happening, your knees might be a little bit bent, and that's okay. Otherwise, legs are straight. We're going to pull the right knee in toward our chest, really driving our heel up toward our chin. And pull that left leg a little closer to the ground for archer's pose. Good. Good. Try the opposite side, so straighten through the right leg. Pull the left leg in, really driving that heel up toward your chin, really opening up through your hips. Good. And then release. Tuck your knees into your chest and extend your legs up toward the ceiling. Take a moment to point and flex your toes. Maybe roll your ankles a few times. Bring your arms along your sides. And on the inhale, lift your hips up toward the ceiling. Bring your hands to your lower back and then extend your legs all the way up toward the ceiling so you come into a shoulder stand. Good. Yep. Then lower your toes all the way overhead for plow. You can reach toward your ankles. You can sweep your arms behind your back, interlace your fingers, and then straighten through your arms. Good. Maybe bend your knees and bring your knees toward your ears for ear pressure pose. Good. Then slowly lower all the way back down onto your mat. Bring your feet toward the mat, hips width apart. Inhale, reach your arms overhead, and then just drop your knees side to side for windshield wipers, really lengthening through the sides of your body. Good. And then drop your knees over to the left side. You're going to take that left leg and bring your ankle on top of the right knee, and then really push that right knee toward the ground so you lengthen all the way through this IT band. Use your left hand, press it on the inside of your left knee, twist and look under the right arm. So really, really lengthening all the way through the side. Awesome. Try the same thing on the opposite side. So we're going to tuck our knees back into our chest, lower our feet to the mat, drop our knees over to the right, and place that right ankle on top of the left, reaching up with both arms, really lengthening everything out, driving that left knee toward the ground. Maybe using that right hand to press against the inside edge of our right knee. Reach a little higher with that left arm, find a little more space, and then twist to look under the left arm. So you should feel a stretch all the way through this left side of your body. Good. Awesome. Go ahead and release. Feet come back to the mat. One more time. Just dropping our knees side to side. Windshield wipers. Yep. Come back through the center. We're going to straighten through our legs. Give ourselves a big stretch overhead. Big, big inhale here. Then one more time, tuck our knees into our chest. Really press our lower back onto the mat. And we're going to keep our knees together and just draw circles on the ceiling with our knees so we massage through our lower back. Good, and then take those circles in reverse. Good. Tuck your knees tightly into your chest. And straighten through your legs. Big inhale, reaching your arms overhead. On the exhale, we're going to bring our arms along our sides, slowly transitioning into Shavasana from here. You can make any last-minute adjustments that you need to so that you can come to a comfortable position on your mat. Allow your body to completely relax. Think of clearing your mind, sort of wiping your mind, erasing your mind, and just focusing on exactly where you are in this present moment. So noticing the weight of your body on your mat, noticing the temperature of the air, maybe the sounds or smells, and then beginning to completely release any tension in your body and rest for a few minutes in Shavasana. Beginning to waken from Shavasana. You can wiggle your fingers, bring a little bit of feeling and life into your fingers and toes. When you're ready, gently tuck your knees into your chest and gently rock yourself back to a seat on your mat. So, we'll sit in a simple cross-legged pose here. If you are a little bit more flexible and you want to come into a half lotus, you can try this. You can also come into a full lotus here if this is where you're at today. Otherwise, you can just remain in a simple cross-legged position on your mat. We'll allow the back of our wrists to rest on our knees, sitting up straight and tall. We'll take one last deep inhale, reaching our arms all the way up toward the ceiling. On the exhale, pressing our palms to heart center, giving gratitude for this opportunity to move and feel in our bodies and practice freely. Thank you for joining me. It was my honor and privilege to guide you in your practice. Namaste.